Bismillah wa salatu wa salam wa rasulullah wa ba'd. In the name of Allah, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon his last and final messenger as to what follows. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love and no hatred in my heart. Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon all of you. And before we begin, I ask you to please like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. As you know, we got a lot of haters up in here. We also have memberships for those who want to support this channel and what we do here. This particular episode that we're doing, we are stepping into some really I don't want to say uncharted territory for me. This is something that I do, right? But for a lot of y'all, I know you guys are going to be completely stunned. So I'm not sure if this video will be able to stay up, to be honest. Uh, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. So like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. Also, subscribe to the Mirror sites. Is important because you know that we get shut down, struck a lot. You know, our videos get taken down on the regular. So it's important that you also subscribe to the Mirror channels. That is the infamous Feachaz on YouTube and the Feachaz on Library. That's lbry.com. This episode here. Just get ready for your pop. Just get your popcorn and your soda ready, and make sure you're sitting down for this one. Okay, just make sure you're sitting down. So before we begin, right, we are going to read the Copyright Act. Okay, it's going to be one of those. Okay, so we're going to read the Copyright Act. So, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now that we've got that out of the way, I'm going to get into, I'm going to do something that I haven't done on this channel ever. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Joe Baz. I'm going to do something that I've not done on this channel. And we're going to actually read from some Aqeedah books to teach the people a bit of Aqeedah, right? So I'm going to read some portions of these Aqeedah books, inshallah. And these books that I'm reading from are free online, and you can download them as PDFs, okay? These books I'm going to read to you today, they are free online, Aqeedah books. You can download them as PDFs. And I'm going to tell you after I read these particular portions where I got these books from so that everybody can download these books online, okay? So we're going to read from, let's get the first book out here, okay? It's called The Fundamentals of Tawheed by Dr. Bilal Phillips. Okay, so I'm going to read something that the Dr. Bilal Phillips, he wrote from his book, right? So literally, Tawheed means unification, to making something one or asserting oneness. And it comes from the Arabic verb wahada, which itself means to unite, unify, or consolidate. However, when the term Tawheed is used in reference to Allah, Tawheed Allah, it means realizing and maintaining Allah's unity in all of man's actions, which directly or indirectly relate to Him. It is belief that Allah is one without partner, and His domination and His actions, rububiyyah, one without similitude, and His essence and attributes, asma wa sifat, one without rival in divinity and in worship, uluhiyyah or ibadah. These three aspects form the basis of the categories into which the science of Tawheed has been traditionally divided. The three overlapped and are inseparable to such a degree that whoever omits any aspect has failed to complete the requirements of Tawheed. The omission of any one of the above mentioned aspects of Tawheed is referred to as shirk, literally sharing. the association of partners with Allah, which in Islamic terms, in fact, is idolatry. So the three categories of Tawheed are commonly referred to by the following titles. Number one, Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, maintaining the unity of lordship, okay? And Tawheed al-Asma'i wa Sifat, maintaining the unity of Allah's names and attributes, and Tawheed al-Ibadah, maintaining the unity of Allah's worship, okay? So these are the three categories of Tawheed. Now, this is from the book by Dr. Bilal Phillips, The Fundamentals of Tawheed, and I have this book. I always recommend it. In my humble opinion, it's the best book of Aqeedah in the English language that new Muslims and whatchamacallit should be reading. You know what I mean? It's very easy to follow, very easy to understand. And now you can get this book free. And I'm going to tell you where you can get it free. Okay? Just give me a second, right? There's another portion of another book here I want to read. It is, the name of the book is, let me just get it here. Actually, I'll get the name. Oh, it's In Pursuit of Allah's Pleasure, right? So in this part of the book where he said, the author is talking about our Aqeedah, right? So our Aqeedah is that of the Salaf al-Salih in general and in detail, okay? So our Aqeedah, meaning our creed, is that of the Salaf al-Salih, the pious predecessors, in general and in detail. While the objective of a Muslim is his Qibla or direction towards which he turns his face in any action, word, or intention, his Aqeedah is the engine that drives him from inside towards that objective. It urges him to move forward and prevents him from retreating or quitting. Whenever Aqeedah regresses or its influence wavers in the heart, attempts to work righteousness come to an end, or at least suffer a relapse. The servant, as a result, moves away from his objective and sets about, doing things which keep him away from attaining it. For a servant is either traveling towards Allah, driven forward by faith, or away from him, and he is tempted away by devils. Aqeedah is neither a claim nor a set of linguistic issues in which only linguists and those skilled in rhetoric excel. Paying lip service to it, taking about in an ornate style, writing pages and even volumes about it is not sufficient. Indeed, it is futile and of no avail. Okay, and that is from the book. What is it called again? In Pursuit of Allah's Pleasure. Let me get the title here for you and the author. By Sheikh Asim Abdul Majid. Okay, and Sheikh Isamuddin Adarballah and Dr. Naji Ibrahim. Okay, supervised by Dr. Sheikh Omar Abdurrahman. Okay, so anyways, you can get these really good Aqeedah books free as PDFs. Download them, read them for yourself online. But before I tell you what the link is to get these books, I want you to guess, where do you think I got these books from? Just give me any guess online, right? Where do you think I got these books from? Yes. Just type in where you think you can get these free Aqeedah books, right? For the Muslims online. Just type for me. Type it in the chat. Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. Where do you think that we can get these free, amazing Aqeedah books? There's more too, but just for time's sake, we're going to move on. Type it in the chat, please. Anybody guess? Just guess. Where do you think? No guesses? Nobody want to guess? Okay, nobody want to guess. Amazon, very good guess. Abdullah Isa says Amazon. MashaAllah, excellent guess. Islamic Online University. MashaAllah, Kareem Burke. Excellent guess too. Michelle Love, 1 sec. Michelle Love says 1 sec. Right? Okay. We have some pretty good guesses coming on here, okay? Kalam Allah, mashallah, excellent guess. Jill Bass and Michelle Love both say Kalam Allah. Kareem Burke says Islamic online universities. Abdullah Isa says Amazon, okay? Moha says Daniel Hakikachu. Mashallah, but Daniel Hakikachu, apparently he's Ashari Maturidi, so I don't think he'll be putting those books out. But alhamdulillah, nice guess anyways, nice guess. Okay, are you guys ready? You guys ready to get these? Your free Aqeedah books. You ready? Let me just share the screen with you. Download them as PDFs. Get your PDFs today. Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. Ahmed ibn Hanbal. Moha says Ahmed ibn Hanbal. Okay, ready? About to share the screen. Don't forget to become members of the channel as well. Share the screen. Okay. This is Fundamentals of Tawheed, Islam of Monotheism by Abu Amina Bilal Phillips. For those of you who can't see, either on Facebook or because the screen is too small, this says CIA.gov. Surprise! Oh, surprise! Surprise, 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 surprise. This is the CIA, official CIA government library, where you can download your Islamic Aqeedah books for free. For free. Yes, please pick your mouth up from the ground now. Okay? There's another one, System of Islam by Nizam al-Islam. Pursuit of Allah's Pleasure. The same book I was reading from. And they have more. They have more. Hassan Abdul Muttaqin says he downloaded that book from their site. This is our Aqeedah. He downloaded from the CIA. So, y'all know how we do in the features over here, okay? We keep telling you that the enemy is well acquainted with Islam and the different groups and sects, much more than even the general Muslim. Now, why do you think that the CIA would download these Aqeedah books, and they are the actual books, they're the full books, then put it on their library for the world to see? What do you think they're trying to tell you? What do you think they are trying to tell you? What they're trying to tell you by putting your books on their online library is that they ain't worried about you, okay? Everything is going according to plan with regards to you, son. Y'all hearing me? This is why we don't do sectarianism here. We don't do that here. They think you guys are very useful for carrying out their agendas. Not your agenda, their agenda. Y'all hearing me? They know very well, and they study Muslims in order to cause divisions. And this is how they do it. They actually study us because we are considered their enemy. It's y'all who haven't figured out that they are the actual enemy yet. You get it? You see what's going on now? Surprise. A surprise, 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 surprise. Meanwhile, in YouTube land, and your social media land. You know what? Let me just show you, man. Let me just show you something, okay? Like, subscribe, share. Hit me up on Patreon. Okay? Michelle Love, she says, they like 10 steps ahead of us. They're more like 10 years ahead of us in steps. They plan like many years ahead before they carry out any of these actions. They know what you're going to do before you actually do it because they study you. Planning on what to do for the 50 years from. That's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do. Y'all hearing me? This is what Hassan says. Look what Hassan said now. Look at. Do you think it's possible because 99% of ICE, for example, is self-ascribed Salafi? We're about to deal with that right now, bro. We're about to deal with that right now. Just relax. We getting to that. Okay? We're getting to that. Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon, okay? Y'all are tripping like crazy. All this sectarian stuff, bro, and you are being played like a fiddle. Working for the enemy while you don't even know. Let me share the screen. So this is Brother Haji. Shout out to Brother Haji. I ain't got no problems like that. No personal problems anyway. But I talk to him behind the scenes, and he knows my opinions. But this is from one of his many videos talking about the Najdi Dawah, okay? And this is what he says. Takfiri tendencies, Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab, the early Najdiyah, forefathers of ISIS. And this is his third part, okay? He's already did 2 parts of these type of videos. He says this type of thing all the time, that Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab, rahimahullah, is the founder of ISIS and whatnot. And he puts out these long videos with one-sided historical accounts. And y'all go for it. Only because, for whatever reason, you have hatred in your hearts for Dawah to Salafiyah. It could be because the way that Salafis treated you. That could be one reason. It could be because of your particular sect itself. It could be because of that. If you're a Sufi or a Shia or whatever, you've been trained not to like Wahhabis, period. So because of that, it's easy for you to rag on Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab. Me, if you're going to do that, that's your business. That's your deal. I don't particularly care. The Salafi Dawah is about making Dawah to the people, calling the people the truth with good manners and whatnot. It's not our responsibility to guide the people. However, to make the claim that the forefathers of ISIS are Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab in the early Najdiyah, you have to make a direct link, correct? You have to make a link between these people and ISIS, correct? And Brother Haji, Allah reward the brother. I mean, has he in any one of his videos made a direct link between Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab and the recruitment of ISIS? Has he actually done that? And the answer would be no, he hasn't. He has not. And if you're biased, then it's easy for you to find things that are not there. But who is in reality recruiting people for ISIS? Let's look at some of these, okay? Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. Yeah, we going in today. We going in. Let's watch this one first, okay? Bismillah. Listen to this, y'all.
Or the war and peace.
Let me just turn up the volume. Here we go.
Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
In South Carolina, thousands of mourners lined up at the State House to pay tribute to the Reverend Clementa Pinckney, a state senator and the Emmanuel AME Church pastor who was among the 9 victims killed last week at Bible study in Charleston. Pinckney's body lay in state ahead of his funeral on Friday. Pinckney is the first African American since Reconstruction to lie in honor in the state rotunda. This comes as a new report finds white supremacists and other non-Muslim fanatics have killed nearly twice as many people as Muslim extremists since 9/11.
What did she just say? What did she just say? For those of you who missed it, let me replay that.
Comes as a new report finds white supremacists and other non-Muslim fanatics have killed nearly twice as many people as Muslim extremists since 9/11.
White supremacists and other non-Muslim fanatics have killed twice as many people as Muslim so-called fanatics. Twice. Do you know what twice is? Do you find anywhere your Western governments picking up these crackers and throwing them in Guantanamo Bay? Where's the Abu Ghraib of white supremacy? Where is it? Does it exist somewhere? But yet y'all, you Muslims, are on code with the same white supremacists that are calling you terrorists while excusing their own people. That's the game. That's why Bilal Full's book is up there. Do you understand? That's the whole point. They want to stop and prevent the spread of real Islam. They've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. They know exactly what they're doing. It's y'all who are, behind the ball by decades. I'm talking about Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab as the founder of ISIS. Word? Let's get into this. Okay? Look at here. Watch this one now.
This is Democracy Now! Back, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. As we turn right now to our last segment, How the FBI Created Terrorists. That's the subtitle of the new expose in The Intercept by Trevor Aaron, War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. As we turn right now to our last segment, How the FBI Created Terrorists. That's the subtitle of the new expose in The Intercept by Trevor Aronson.
Who created terrorist family? Mind you, this article here, I'm going to show you something. This one was 2015, okay? This news piece. This one right here, 2015. This is not new news. We done knew about this. And that's what we've been telling you here from day one. Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab, rahimahullah, is not recruiting ISIS soldiers. It's these people. We've been telling you that from jump. Y'all think it's jokes. Y'all are straight tripping. Let's read this here because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, look here. This is from The Guardian. Now the truth emerges how U.S. fueled the rise of ISIS in Syria and Iraq. Who fueled it? Was it Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab? Was it Wahhabis? Who fueled it, family? it in the chat, please. Who fueled it? Oh, my bad. Sorry. Let's read, shall we? First, let's get the date on this. This was Wednesday, 3rd June 2015. Okay? The War on Terror, that campaign without end launched 14 years ago by George, 14 years ago from 2015. It's tying itself up even more grotesque contortions. On Monday, the trial in London of a Swedish man, Berlin Gildo, accused of terrorism in Syria, collapsed after it became clear. Yo, this is so crazy, man. This is so crazy. After it became clear, British intelligence had been arming the same rebel groups that the defendant was charged with supporting. You can read that article, the whole article in the Guardian. So if you want to say Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab is the founder of ISIS, then just make the connection, bro. That's all we're saying. Where are all these people who are reading the Imam's books and saying to themselves afterwards, you know what? This has inspired me to go to Syria and join those sandal-wearing soldiers for liberation of the Islamic State. Is that what's happening? Is that what is going on? Or are the people seeing the violence and bloodshed being inflicted on their families and friends and Muslims at large and making the conscious decision to fight the aggressors? Which is happening here? Are they reading the Imam's books and saying, I want to go fight in Syria? Or are they seeing their family members, their friends, their sons, their daughters getting killed and shredded by drone strikes in their countries and in the West? They're seeing all of this and they're saying to themselves, you know what? I have to go and do something. Which is happening. Ironically enough, you can say that the founder of modern terrorist groups is actually Sayyid Qutb, right? Ironically enough, Rahimahullah Sayyid Qutb, right? From Egypt. Rahimahullah Sayyid Qutb. He's actually the founder of those modern type extremists making takfir of the leaders. They just happen to be Ashari Sufi people, Ashari Sufi types. You understand? They're the same people that, killed Anwar Sadat, all kind of stuff in Egypt and whatnot. But ain't nobody talking about them because there's no nuance. You know what I mean? All it is a sectarian push to cause division among the Muslims. That's it. So now, Bra Haji has become the very thing he's refuting. And it's not just him. It's not just him. All this type of, bad faith arguments and stuff. Anybody, if you want to make somebody look bad, you can gather all kinds of dirt on them to make them look bad, period. It will make a difference who it is. Christians do it all the time, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in Islam, we have fail-safes for that. And one of those fail-safes is that we do not make a ghibah. We don't do it. Because this is what it does. And now with the rise of social media, this accentuates the division and hatred that you have amongst the Muslims, because anybody with a device now has a platform to speak, and you don't know who's on the other side of these platforms. They are telling you that the FBI and the CIA are the actual recruitment tools for these terrorist groups. They're telling you that. And you insist. Not only do you point the fingers at other Muslims, but you have nothing to say about the enemy's involvement in all of this. Like nothing. Nothing at all. I like Bro Haji, but look at his YouTube. How many times does he attack the enemy? Does he attack the enemy at all? Does he have anything to say against the CIA? Like look at all his videos. Has he said anything against the CIA, the FBI, anything? It's all Muhammad bin Abdul Wahab, Muhammad bin Salman. And let me show you something about Muhammad bin Salman while we're at it. Okay, like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. We're right here. Check this out, y'all.
Has Saudi Arabia broken away from Wahhabism? The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been undergoing dramatic changes over the past 5 years. Much of it has been driven by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, popularly known as MBS. Tasked with modernizing the country, he has taken on the greatest hurdle to reform, Wahhabism, an ultra-strict interpretation of Islam that has governed the fabric of Saudi society for decades.
We were not like this in the past. We only want to go back to what we were, the moderate Islam that is open to the world, open to all the religions. We will not waste 30 years of our lives in dealing with extremist ideas. We will destroy them today.
The 36-year-old styles himself as a reformer and a modernizer, determined to reinvent Saudi Arabia's image on the world stage. And so far, he's done things that previous Saudi rulers were unable or unwilling to do. He's lifted the ban on women driving, relaxed male guardianship laws, invested heavily in the entertainment sector, abolished flogging and the death penalty for minors, and with the backing of his father, the king, he's curtailed the country's religious police.
Now, you would think, you would think that with all these reforms MBS doing in the kingdom, the same people that are criticizing him would praise him, correct? The very same people that were criticizing him for being this hardcore Wahhabi, blah, 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 right? Would praise him, correct? Where are they? Are they praising him? No. And why not? Sectarianism. That's all it is. That's all it's about. That's all it's about. So anyways, on YouTube, please hook me up with some super chats. I know this one, a lot of y'all jaws just dropped, right? It just dropped right to the floor. Hook me up with some super chats and stuff. And I don't even know if this video will be able to stay up, or it'll get attacked or whatchamacallit, demonetized or whatnot. But walaikum salam Sima. But this is the world we live in today. We let our enemies dictate to us who we hate and how much we hate them. And it's usually some other Muslims. and we don't even look at the enemy. Like, we don't even look at them. We don't even look in their direction. You understand me? We don't even look in their direction. We're looking at each other with hatred and enmity and all kind of stuff. And it's because of this stuff. Y'all being played, had, hoodwinked, run amok, misled, bamboozled. Okay? Straight up. This is just insanity. Total insanity. One second, guys. Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. There's one more thing I want to show you guys here. Before we close this out. Don't forget those super sticker, guys.
In October 2015, The Intercept, an online publication devoted to reporting on whistleblowers like Edward Snowden, released a series entitled The Drone Papers. These were reportedly based on documents given to The Intercept by an intelligence agency whistleblower. Within them is a detailed examination of how the United States has used its drone program to assassinate suspected terrorists overseas, with disastrous consequences. So what exactly do the drone papers reveal? Well, the drone strike program was originally instituted under George W. Bush during the War on Terror. However, the Obama administration significantly increased the total number of drone strikes, particularly in Pakistan and Yemen. According to Obama, these strikes have been used exclusively against terrorists and with fewer civilian casualties than in missile strikes. But the most recent reports from the drone papers actually suggest that an overwhelming majority of deaths have indeed been civilian. In Afghanistan, a study found that pilotless drone strikes caused 10 times as many civilian deaths as did piloted planes. In fact,
how many times more civilian deaths? So for every so-called suspected terrorist that they kill by drone, 10 civilians, men, women, children, have to die. But y'all can't call, you can't call the enemy a terrorist. You can't call them what they are. You can't call them evil. You can't call them shayateen. You can't do it. You're pointing the fingers at the Muslims? Anyway, let's keep watching. Now I'm hot, man. I'm hot now.
In fact, The Intercept found that out of 200 people killed in airstrikes, only 35 were the intended targets. The Intercept also discovered that the U.S. followed a policy of identifying those killed by drone strikes as enemies until there was overwhelming proof that they were civilians. This method of concealing civilian deaths through omission was based on labeling all unidentified military-aged males as enemies killed in action. The way drone assassinations were processed came down to short character profiles printed on what were called baseball cards. These cards would include some personal information along with their apparent threat level. President Obama would spend on average 58 days deciding whether to authorize the assassination. But perhaps the most damaging aspect of the drone program was the preference to kill combatants instead of capturing them. In a speech justifying drone strikes in 2013, President Obama explained that it was sometimes impossible to capture terrorists before they could strike. In one highly publicized case, a former British citizen from Lebanon had apparent ties to an al-Qaeda affiliate in Somalia, al-Shabaab. After being monitored from 2007 to 2012, he was killed by a drone strike in Somalia. Despite collecting evidence on him for at least 5 years and knowing his location, the U.S. did not arrest or prosecute him in court. While al-Shabaab did confirm that he was a high-ranking operative, there seems to be no reason that he could not have seen due process. The drone wars have long been a controversial portion of the war on terror. Drone strikes have even killed U.S. citizens, suggesting a clear violation of the Fifth Amendment. The Obama administration did acknowledge the existence of the program after years of denial by the Bush administration. However, the new documents from The Intercept imply that what little has been revealed by the government is likely distorted. Many have called for considerably greater transparency surrounding the drone program. In the end, secret overseas assassinations, which primarily kill civilians, could easily be one of America's worst war crimes. The war on terror has also come at an incredible cost, both in lives and in resources. Find out how much in the video up top.
Family, a couple of things I wanted that to play out. Who are they classifying as terrorists? Any adult male that gets killed by their drones, they classify them as terrorists. A couple of weeks ago, with the discovery of ISIS-K, just as soon as Afghanistan is given to the Taliban, all of a sudden we hear about this new group called ISIS-K. U.S. Did a drone strike. As we all know, most of us know anyways, killed like 10 people who are gathering water for their neighborhood, including children. That's your recruiting tool. These drone strikes right here. That's why people join Al-Qaeda. That's why people join ISIS. That's why people join the Taliban. Not because of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahab. The biggest recruiter of the so-called terrorists, not Al-Qaeda, it's not ISIS, not Ibn Abdul Wahab, it's the U.S. government themselves. They are playing the game very well. They fully intend to kill civilians to keep the war perpetually going. You understand? That's the whole point. If they know, can you imagine somebody bombs your family right now? It's some Western government. Are you just going to sit there and say, okay, I forgive you because you thought that my family were terrorists? Is that what you're going to say? You wouldn't say that. Not for yourself. What about these other people who don't even really understand the depth behind this game that these people are playing? Oh, play too much. This is really, really crazy, man. It's really crazy. And on top of that, again, Muslims sign off on this stuff because you get used like little pawns in their game, and you yourself involve yourself in the destruction of Muslims. And you're happy to do it. Anyways, Akhwan, that's what I have for you today. Inshallah. Just read this one comment. This is why the drone operators are whistleblowing, because they set up the strikes like video games to reduce stress, but they know who they're killing. Exactly. All these drone operators are coming up saying, look, we're killing civilians and stuff. They know what it is. That whole Guantanamo Bay and stuff, that was a psyop against Muslims. Y'all are so afraid to be captured by these devils and put into their prisons that you're willing to sell out your own religion to make yourself look soft and pacifist so that they don't arrest you. And that's the point. And so the Prophet ﷺ, he said, the enemy, they will come over you like a feast, like a plate of food, and start eating you from all sides. And he was asked, will be few in number in those times? And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, no, rather you'll be many, but you'll be like the foam of the sea. You'll be weak because you love the life of this world and you hate death. That is really the reality of what is going on. The reason why we do this to each other, calling each other all kind of crazy names, is because we want to look good for white zaddies and them who are in charge of our religions. That's why. We sell each other out, man. We sell each other out, and we sell each other out for biscuits and fried chicken. And we have no problems doing it either. And guess what? You know what will happen after some of y'all watch this video and stuff? You'll still go and share videos of Muslims attacking other Muslims. You see what I'm saying? We are in some bad shape. Anyways, I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace. Subhanaka wa bihamdik wa shalla la ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.